second workshop session to talk about the, and so we are really happy to have Elodie Thierion from Medicen, who will try to give us an integrated overview of the innovation ecosystem in France. We all know that it's a very complex ecosystem, so it's a difficult task to try to explain, to give an integrated overview of this complex system. So thank you, Elodie, for taking this difficult task.
Thank you for the introduction. So yeah, actually, I'm going to try to give you an overview. This is going to be only for Paris region, which is kind of still difficult, but yeah, I'm going to try. So I'm Elodie Thierion. I have a PhD in genetics, and I also have done a postdoc at the University of Cambridge. After that, I moved to a private company doing consulting in research tax credit, and have been in Medicen as a project manager for 2 years. And I am responsible of the field of biotech and pharma. So I wanted to start with this. So I found this picture, which is trying to summarize what is done for health tech and innovation with a focus for biotech. And yeah, just to, it's in French, sorry, but I'm sure you can understand. So just the idea with this slide was to show you that at the center you have actually the player, the pure player for research, with the public on one side and the private companies on the other side, doing proper research. Right, at the bottom you have all the different entities that can fund research, so it can be public, private, companies, pharmaceutical companies, for example. And at the top, you have all the entities that can support innovation in health tech. So I'm going to try to explain a little bit some of these entities. And I was asked also to try to to summarize on one slide all the different entities that can, again, support, accommodate, fund project innovation in health tech. So I'm going to try as well to explain a little bit most of the entities that are shown in this slide, and Chiara is going to distribute some of the paper copy if you want. So I'm going to start with a question. So yeah, you have a project, you're starting your company. Where do you fund it? How do you fund your project? And I have a quiz, but Chiara is not here, so that's okay. So it's not a Kahoot, but it's the same idea. So yeah, please, you just have to flash the QR code, and hopefully we'll have some, some of your answers going through. Is it working? Yeah? Okay, good. I hope it's going to appear on the slide. No? Did you vote? Yeah, it's not working, right? No? Ah, okay, great. Yes. So thank you for the responders. You still have time to vote if you want. Okay, so I'm going to try to give you an overview of how you can fund your project. So I'm going to go back to the presentation. Sorry about that. Evangelist. Yeah. Okay. I like your answers. I think you have most of it. It's great. Okay. So I'm just going to start with the, let's say, the non-dilutive funds. So basically, most of it is grants. So the idea is that some entities, people can give you money, and they don't want in exchange a bit of the capital of your company, which is the second part. So from grants, I'm sure most of you know what is the funding programs, which are regional, national, or European, with, for example, ANR, that is financing a lot of public research. Another dispositif is research tax credits, crédit d'impôt recherche, which is actually quite important if you are doing R&D. And you can also have bank loans. I'm not going to go in this topic, but yeah, just that you know that exists. Okay, here again, quite complex. On this slide is all the different, most of the grants you can have if you're, driving a research project. At the top, you're going to have most of the BPI France grants. And the idea is to give you, to appreciate that depending on the maturity of your project, you can apply to a certain type of grant. So depending if you're really just starting, for example, you can ask for a high PhD. Some of you might know about it. And then you can, your project is under development, and you go further in your proof of concept. So maybe you want to apply to iLab or INOV. And recently, with the France 2030, you heard today, there are also specific grants depending on the topics. And there is a proper one for innovation in biotherapies and bioproduction. You also have a grant from the region. Depending if you are alone or if it's a collaborative project, you can apply to different type of grants. And finally, you have European grants. You might know about the Horizon Europe, which can fund some postdoc grants. And you also have a very competitive one, which is the EIC accelerators. So just to, so again, it's a lot of information, it's quite complex, but the idea is just to give you that you can try to apply to different type of grants. There are different entities that are driving the grants, and depending on the maturity of your project, you have to be careful to select the right one. Sorry about that. Research tax credit.
May I ask you a question? Where do you put the pre-maturation and maturation grants from SAT, CNRS Innovation, and so on in this? Because you didn't put any fund dedicated to pre-maturation, maturation, and it's often how academics starts to go into the startup direction.
So I was counting to talk about it a little bit further, but now the idea is, it's also, the thing is that it can be grants, but it can be also dilutive funds. So it's just in between, but the idea is, you can have help from the university, then you can ask for the SATs, transfer tech companies. You can also ask your incubator if you are in one. So but it's mostly dilutive funds. So that's why. And just research tax credits, I'm gonna go quickly. The idea is just that it represents like 3 out of 5 of all the public funding that are financing research. Then the most thing to remember is that you can have quite a lot of expenses related to R&D that can be part of research tax credit, and it represents around 30% of all your expenses. Another thing that can be quite interesting is that if your company is less than 8 years and you're doing at least 50% of your activity, which is R&D, you can also have some exoneration for social and fiscal costs. And in France, just to give you an idea, 90% of research credits is attributed to experimental development. Then, so I'm not going to go too much further in details for diluted funds, but it's just to give you an idea as well that so if you have your company, you can ask private companies, expert, individual, to give you money in exchange of, equity, so a bit of the capital of your company. So first, you can have your friends, family, or your own money. You can also have some foundations. So I put AFM Téléthon, that you might know. That can be, again, an investor. You have family offices, so basically it's rich families or wealth families that want to invest in a research project, a research company, and it's going to base mainly on, let's say emotion and the interest about the pathology or the medical needs you are addressing. So related to Stephane's question, so again, all the transfer tech offices and companies, also incubators, can give you a bit of money in exchange of capital. Then the venture capital. So those ones are maybe those that you may know as institutional investors. They are basically not give you money really early in the development of your project, but they are going to focus on more mature projects, but they are quite important at some stages of your development. The business angels, so they are sometimes just a person or a group of persons. They are not professional, so they can be a retired person or a corporate person that just have interest in investing in companies. And they invest in general quite early in the development of your company. And one of the last one is the corporate funds. Of course, pharmaceutical companies have their own funds that can invest in your companies. So that was about how to fund your project. So I just want to have like a use case. So you have a biotech company. You develop, let's say, a therapeutic antibody in cancer. Why not? You are in preclinical phase. You plan to get ready to enter clinical phase by 2025. You got financed with a seed, so let's say the first round of investment, private investment, and you are a laureate of iLab. So now, how can you finance your future development? No. It's the quiz. Yep. Yep. Okay, next question. If you want to vote. Oh, otherwise, do you have ideas? What should you do? Which grants do you apply to? Which investors are you going to ask money to? Is it working? Yeah? Yeah, okay. Yeah, dilutive funds, right? IDEMO, yeah, why not? Okay, so the idea is that, so you got a iLab, you're laureate of iLab, so in terms of grants, you can apply to INO, which is just the one after. You can also apply to the one for France 2030, which is specific to biotherapies and bioproduction, since you're working on biotherapies with an antibody. And for the dilutive funds, now I think you can go to VCs. It's the right time. Back to the presentation. Okay, so the idea, yeah, let's say basically now you have money, so you're quite happy. You can go further in your development. Yep. Again. Yeah. So now, who can support you and who can accommodate your company? So there are a lot of actors. I'm going to try again to have a quick overview of all the different entities that can help you. So first, it's going to depend on the university or the research center your innovation project comes from. Then you're going to have all the transfer tech offices and companies. You heard about PUE this morning, or this afternoon. Again, the incubators and accelerators. And yeah, a bit of word about biocluster, business centers, and competitiveness cluster, such as Medicen. So again, it's going to depend on the maturity of your project. If it's really early, you can be asked by your own company, your own university, or research institute. You heard about Curie Institute, so we are hosting their own company that's going to be created based on the project. Then incubators. So incubators, they are going to host you, and they're going to provide you some let's say, programs to help you to develop your company, to grow. Accelerator are just programs, so they're not going to host you. And then you're going to have business centers when your company is a bit mature. And the last two I will explain a bit later. So just this map is just to give you an idea of the main research center, and just to mention that depending on the university or the research institute your project come from, they can help you, right? They have their own technology transfer offices, which is let's say the first contact if you have an innovation project. Then, okay, those three. So you heard about them. They kind of do the same thing, but not exactly. The idea is that for the technology transfer offices, you're going to have the one in your university. You're going to have the private ones, such as CNRS Innovation, INSERM Transfer. And they are going to be let's say, quite early helping you for the development of your project. So they are going to help you with IPs. They are going to be able to give you a bit of money. They are going to help you to create your company. Then you can have help from the SAT. There are 3 SATs in Paris region. So they are basically doing the same thing. They really have a focus. They can give you more money to really mature your project and be able either to create your company, your startup, or maybe try to have your collaboration and licensing of your technology to another company. And since it's quite difficult to have all the actors and players to talk together, to work together, the French innovation plan from France 2030 created a new, it's not a structure, it's a consortium, okay? So it's basically going to be able to give a bit more of money to increase the person in the university that's going to be able to help for valorization and tech transfer. And we are really trying to make all the people talk together. There are some regional anchor for all the different players. And yeah, it's going to help to acculturate the scientists for innovation. Okay, now incubators, I'm sure you're familiar with those structures. So they're going to host you physically. They're going to provide you accommodation, lab spaces if you need some, desks, and they are also helping you to have a real proof of concept. And it's up to 3 years. So there are several in Paris region. It's going to mainly depend on the kind of innovation you're gonna have. So you heard about Genopole this morning. It's probably going to be about rare disease. IPEPS is going to be about neurodegenerative disease and so on. And another thing that is quite, complementary is accelerators. So they are not going to be able to accommodate you, but it's going to be like a really a short program to help you grow. And mainly, they are going to help you to go to a next level. So if you want to have a scale-up of your company, if you want to have help for your next fundraising, they can really help you about that. The last one, so the biocluster, again, it comes from France 2030. They are really large projects. The idea is really to have all the players in innovation, from universities, companies. They are going to provide, again, a rich ecosystem around some specific thematics. So for the Paris Saclay Cancer Cluster, of course, it's going to be oncology. You have brain and mind about mental disease. And the last one is the biocluster Génoterre, which is, again, in rare disease. It's under construction. So I think the Paris Saclay Cancer Cluster is the most advanced one. And we are already hosting some projects and companies. And the business center, so they can accommodate you. Some of them can provide a bit of program and support you in your development. And they are going to arrive later when your company is more advanced. Here is just a map of different business centers in Paris region. Now the competitiveness clusters, so Medicen is one of them. So they have been created in 2005. The idea is that it's going to be a regional entities focus on one topic. So Medicen is the one from Paris region, focus in health. And really the mission is to bring together all the players and actors in innovation in health in Paris. So we promote R&D a collaborative project. We are organizing events for networkings. And we can also help people to get oriented in the different type of grants and fundraising that you might need to grow your companies. I also wanted to mention that the Institut Paris Région made a really nice map about all the actors in innovation in biotherapies and bioproduction in Paris region. So you have, again, a QR code if you want to access it. You have startups, research centers, accelerators, incubators. So yeah, it's really complete. So yeah, please go to see this map. Okay, back to the use case. So you're still a biotech, the same one. So you are done with your incubator. You've been there for 3 years. So where should you go now? And who can help you to support your growth? Yeah. Almost the last vote. So where should you go? And who can help you? Yep, accelerators. Definitely, okay. But it's going to be a program, right? So where are you going to accommodate? Biofoundries? Yeah. So yeah, the BioCluster, Paris-Saclay Cancer Cluster, they should be able to accommodate you, but maybe in next year. The building is not ready yet. But yeah, they will be able to do that. So yeah, basically business centers, or pépinière, if you know the term, and biocluster when they are going to be ready. Yeah. Ouais. Okay. You? Okay. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about Medicen and what we are doing. So I think you understand. So the idea is really to promote Paris region, make all the actors talking together, networking. And of course, we support healthcare innovation when they are quite mature, because most of the help we can provide will be for at least companies. And yeah, the idea is to create therapeutic and economic value to the region. So we are an association, so we have more than 500 members from clinical and academics, from private companies, large one, and most of it are SMEs. And we also work with the economic stakeholders and local authorities. So the idea is that we are covering all the different fields in health, biotech and pharma, of course, I told you, medtech, medical device, digital health, and we are also translational fields with diagnostic and health data. Okay, so we are, let's say, 3 main missions. The first one is, yeah, networking with the ecosystem. So we are organizing events. It can be just simple webinar to give you information, but it can also be big congresses, such as the Congrès France Bioproduction. So Amanda told you this morning, so last year, the DIM provided 10 entries for free to their members to assist this Congress. So yeah, please feel free to ask me or Amanda for more information about it. We are also trying to organize a call for expression of interest. The idea is to provide a thematic, a project. The next one will be in oncology. And to bring together public and private actors and try to promote collaborative projects. So we have a lot of different action to help our members and to help the growth of startup and SMEs. So we are helping them to attract public fundings, such as the different grants I showed you before. We help you raising dilutive funds and help you for your next fundraising. We can have also support to accelerate the growth of your company. We are working with European project, and I'm going to show you one that might be of interest to you. And we also have advantages for our members with partnerships. And the European project I wanted to talk to you about. So Medicen is part of this European project, and the idea is to help scientists to transition to industry and especially to pharmaceutical companies. So it's going to be a 3-month program. You're going to have a light program and a full program. And the idea is really to work with industrial, have your own project, have a mentor, and you're going to work on real life case from industry. So again, the next program and the next application we start in March next year. So if you are interested, let me know. And the last part is that we are a regional cluster, and we represent our members to the local authorities, such as the region. Of course, we have an alliance with all the other competitiveness cluster in health, and we are also a member of CIBER, which is the Council of European Bioregions. And I'm done. And yeah, it was just the last questions, just to know if you understand what Medicen is doing, and if you have your company one day, would you be happy to join us? Yep. And yeah, you have my email address if you want to. And if you want, we have some paper with the map I showed you from Institut Paris Région. Thank you very much.
Are there any questions? Any questions for them?
Elodie, maybe just a comment, not just a question. You know, like for a biotech or a tech bio company, we know that, you know, like private funds are really, let's say, the basis, the foundation of any grants filing and everything, because the BPI will ask you, what are your funds first? Because they don't, you know, like finance entirely the project. And so what do you recommend? Because have some you know, suggestions to make, but what do you recommend at the very first level, how to generate our you know, like our first funding to get, you know, like something more from the ground, from you know, like all these national authorities or European authorities? What do you think?
So what would be like your first move?
Yeah,
the
exactly.
first investor you're gonna
Or investor is not an investor, because you can do like non-dilutive as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's quite difficult to answer. I think you have to first go to your TTOs and try to discuss with all the different fundings that you might be able to get. And then, yeah, it's really depend also to the climate. And now is not the best for biotechs, I know. Yeah, I think you just need to try to get help from all the complex ecosystem of innovation that you might have, and you can also you can come to see us because we know the grounds. Now with my colleagues, we know a bit more about VCs and private investors. You also have consulting firm, of course, that can help you. So yeah, just get help.
Do you agree that I made some suggestion about that?
For consulting firm? Or?
No, for the first fundraising, non-dilutive one. So, because there are actually institutions such as Wilco, such as the banks itself, that actually make the loan that allow you to have the first funding. And that's actually make the first move for the company to actually ask for the grants, ask for, you know, like first experiment, etc., etc. So it could be like really useful to actually, you know, like move forward from a spin-off to grow.
Yeah, but all the pre-maturation funds, also the SAT, we are supposed to help you mature your project to, you know, get your startup ready if you want to go further in the development of your technology. But yeah, they are supposed to help you about that. If your project comes from CNRS or INSERM, of course we are supposed to help you as well. And then BPI France is of great help as well. So yeah, again, you have to ask everywhere. But yeah, first I'd say it's gonna really depend on where your innovation comes from, and the university, TTOs, SAT, in-term transfer, and so on, first, and then they are supposed to help you as well to, navigate in this complex environment. And of course, when your company is created, we are supposed to help as well for this. Incubators can help as well. So, yeah, I don't say I have the the magic trick to help, but yeah, you need to get help from, everywhere.
Any other question? That's something very urgent. Thank you very much.